So now it's time to introduce a very special man. We are so honored to have him come to Salt Lake City. This is his only Comic-Con appearance in the United States in 2016. Give it up for Hamill.
Thousands and thousands of my new best friends. I think I need a swivel chair. All right. First of all, fix the hat hair. I got this hat because I watch a lot of Turner Classic Movies. There was a time in this country when no self-respecting man would leave the house without a hat. So, first of all, thanks for coming. It was earlier than a matinee show, and I don't like to think of it as a show. It's not really a show, which I will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt in the next hour. It's more like an intimate conversation. I want to talk to you like you were sitting in my living room. Exactly as if you were sitting in my living room, except I won't be serving snacks and no, you can't use the bathroom. Well, I don't know where to start, really. Obviously, I want to answer all of your questions, but 4 years ago, this very month, August of 2012, we were in Florida for the Star Wars celebration. And George Lucas invited us to lunch, my wife and I, and my daughter was with us. And I didn't think much of it. But then when they said, oh no, Chelsea, our daughter, she's not invited. She's going to go to lunch with George's daughter. I thought, uh-oh, something's up. And I remember Mary Lou, my wife, laughed and said, hey, maybe he's going to do a new trilogy. Because he specifically told me, after 1, 2, and 3, we're not going to do any more. I don't in my 70s. That's George talking about. I'm in my 70s, yeah. But, so I just laughed it off. I said, no, you know what? With George, I think it's probably because they're releasing the movies in 3D. He's probably going to want me to do some sort of DVD extra or something for the 3D release. Well, who knows? But certainly not what she suggested. So we go. Chelsea goes off to lunch with George's daughter. And George goes, I'll put this guy in my hand. I'm going to be turning Lucasfilm over to Kathy Kennedy and selling Lucasfilm, and I think they're going to want to do another trilogy. Now, if you don't want to do it, we won't recast, we'll write your character out. Now, I kept a real poker face, right? I mean, I felt like somebody hit me in the stomach really hard, but I didn't show any reaction. Carrie Fisher, of course, went, I did! I said, Carrie, poker face, talk to your agent first. Not only did she immediately say I'm in, but she says, is there anything for Billy in it? That's her daughter. And of course, now Billy plays comics. So this was totally unexpected. And it started a trend. So many of the things I'd done early on were coming back again. You know, I'm a big fan of John Wesley Ships. So when The Flash came back on TV, every episode, thought it was really well done, so smart, so well written. And I got a call saying, well, they want you to be on The Flash. And I'm a contemporary of John's, he's about my age. And I thought, okay, well, he's in prison for being wrongly accused of killing his wife. So since he's a peer of mine, I'll be playing the prison warden, maybe a fellow inmate, you know, a priest. Well, every person is a priest, right? And so I said, my agent, who do they want me to play? I better sit down. When they said the trickster, I said, are you kidding me? It was pretty hard to rock that leotard 20 years ago. Let's be age appropriate here. I don't want to make a fool of myself, you know? But again, they're so smart. If you saw it, you saw the way I was imprisoned. I was sort of, it was age appropriate. And they had this wonderful actor, Devin Gray, playing this wannabe trickster. I thought he was just tremendous. And I loved it. What great fun it was. So there's that. And then there was George. And then Chris Roberts from Wing Commander. Yeah. Wing Commander fans out there? All right. Wonderful. So he says, we're going to do this new online game, Star Citizen, Squadron 42. And he said, do you want me to send you the script? Have you ever seen these scripts for games? They're like this thick. Because you have to record every variation for how the player plays the game. So I said, no, I didn't read the script the first time. I mean, it's too complicated. Malcolm McDowell and I would just get into this hysterical fits of laughter when we couldn't go on. We had to take a break and compose ourselves because there's so much material. You're doing like 22, 30 pages a day, as opposed to, 4, 5, 6 pages on a film. But I said, no, I'm decided on this thing. I know I'm going to do so well. I had so much fun. Of course I'll come back. And what a project it's turned out to be. Gary Oldman's in it, Gillian Anderson, Jack Houston, Ben Ferguson from, who's the guy who wrote One? Who's playing the villain?
Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
All right. I'm bad at pop quizzes, don't. And please, no math questions. Oh, look who's in the front row! A Joker! Stand up! Love it. And you know the Joker must love Comic Cons because to him, it's all been lost. Always wannabe Jokers lurking about with the little Harley Quinns on their arms. So many great Jokers. Because people say, who's your favorite? There's no definitive Joker. I love Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson. I love Ledger, my God. And in animation, Kevin Michael Richardson, Jeff Bennett, Michael Emerson, John DiMaggio. That everybody brings their own little quirky specifics to their versions of the Joker, and they're all really valid. And by the way, here's a trivia question. You know who the first actor that voiced the Joker in animation was? Anybody? Larry Storch. Remember Larry Storch from F-Troop? A couple of episodes of Sergeant Bilko. He was on Ghostbusters, the TV version, not the, yeah, remember? It was him and the actor from Mikhail, no? Oh, I don't know, but it was Larry Storch. So what do we want to talk about? I don't know what to talk about. Do you guys know you probably would understand me better if you knew I was in the middle of 7 children. My dad was in the Navy, right? And I went to 9 schools in 12 years before I was moved coast to coast to coast to coast. And then when I was living in Virginia, we got transferred to Japan for the last 2 years in high school. I went to my junior and senior year at Yokohama High. Now, not many of you have an alma mater that gets a big laugh after the first line of their alma mater, but all our alma mater started out, in the shadows of Mount Fuji. Hold for laugh. Stands our school so dear. Anyway, there's a Sako punchline at the get-go. So, and I was always, people said, well, when did you decide you were going to be an actor? I didn't know how I wanted to be in show business, but when I started reading Famous Monsters of Film and Magazine to find out how they did the dinosaurs in King Kong, I remember seeing a TV show where they showed behind the scenes at Disney making cartoons. And I saw that I said, wow, there's somebody that gets up in the morning, has his breakfast, kisses his family goodbye, and then goes to work and does the voice of Donald Duck. I want that job! I want that job! I want to make Tyrannosaurus Rex run across the street. So I didn't really know how this would happen. I love comic strips and comic books, and I drew, and I sort of idolized Charles Schulz and Mad Magazine. But I didn't know how this would happen. And I sort of had to keep it a secret because, you know, if I just said to my family I want to be in show business, I would have been brutally ridiculed. I was anyway, just for existing. But if I told them what my secret desire was, forget about it. But I always knew. I seriously always knew, but couldn't really, I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know anything in show business. I didn't know how you did these things or where you went. But I think it's possible because I always was, I had a sort of an alternate reality that I could go into when my sisters got too annoying. You know, it's like the secret life of Walter Mitty. There's always a thought bubble. Oh, and I'm sure you all relate. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't really important for you to escape reality. You need that. Because we look in the papers and it's all so horrible with people fighting and killing each other. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want to go to our happy place. And right now, this is my happy place. Now, I probably just lather on, and I've been on the radio. People say, you're the perfect guest, as we say, welcome to the show. And 25 minutes later, they say, well, we're just about out of time. And we haven't even asked you a question. So if there is a question that you want answered, you know what's so funny? Here you all, look at all your expectant faces. Just filled with hope and optimism. You make all this effort to come today, get babysitters for the kids, or bring the kids, or make sure the pets are taken care of. You come to hear just one little factoid about a movie I'm contractually forbidden to talk about. Isn't that funny? I can't talk about it. I can talk about 1 through 7. So, and I'm afraid to do anything these days. Anything you do is fuel speculation. He's talking about how much I love Daisy Ridley, and I said, you know, I relate to her probably. Oh my God! Look, it's Rachel! So, here's the question, are you? So then I started really messing with fans, you know? I said, happy birthday to John Boyega, who was sensational in episode 8. Title or spoiler? You be the judge. You should know by now. Don't believe a word I say. I'm a professional liar. I get paid for making stuff out and pretending. Why would anybody believe me? Joker, trickster, deadbeat, father, not necessarily in that order. No. I've been married since 1978. To my former dental hygienist, and yes, I've heard, may the floss be with you, so I'm down. And I have 2 adult children who, security! Oh no, I'm sorry, yeah, go right ahead. I got nervous about them talking in my time because I said, what time is it? It's 11 minutes after 10. Does that mean I get to speak to 11 after noon? And they said, no, you gotta go at noon. I'll talk fast. Go ahead.
If you guys want to ask a question, I'll bring a mic around. Raise your hands. Raise your hands and give me some questions. Right here.
With your love of comic books, have you ever tried animation or drawing?
Have I ever tried drawing? Well, for Black Girl, it's 5 issues of 22 pages, and on 3 green binder paper, just the kind you had in school, the 3 holes, you know, red and blue lines this way. I drew all it was a guide for the artist. I'm not a bad artist, but what separates me from the pros is that I can't draw the same object from every angle and make it look correct. So I could adapt my style, I guess, and do sort of do all right. But I'm doing a show called Pop Culture Fest. And one of the episodes I went and visited Jim Lee at DC Comics. Wait till you see this guy. He does a Joker drawing that we filmed, and it's extraordinary. Because not only is he really, really fast, but it doesn't take shape immediately. You know, you start saying, where's this guy going with this? You know, these are sketching lines. He uses this technique where he rubs Indian ink for shadows. You'll see it on camera, but it's astonishing, and I am in awe of the artist, no question about it. Yes, next, over here.
Right behind you. Right over here.
Hi. What's the one question that you always hope someone will ask you, but they never do?
That one. And so thank you so much for asking that. Yeah. Am I allowed to call on people?
Sure.
All right, let's ask the Joker.
Hello, Joker. How was your experience with the Killing Joke from filming it to now that it's out on DVD?
Well, it's certainly different than any of the other Joker projects I did, because the original series, the animated series in '92, was for children, and there were standards and practices. So Joker was all bark and no bite. And I loved it because it was really the spirit of the comic books. Then when they came in, we finished, and they didn't ask me back until the Arkham games. Arkham Asylum. And they would bring back all the people, you know, because we really loved each other. Kevin Conroy. I don't want to make a laundry list, but all the people, Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Andrea Romano, the director, was coming back, so it was like a reunion we never expected. And this keeps happening to me, which is really much appreciated. But it was a much darker Joker, you know, now it's for 16 and and so forth. And I get these pages, can we do this? This is really grim. Now, my original thought for Killing Joke when we wrapped the original series back in 1996 or something, was let's do the Killing Joke as a book on tape. Because Alan Moore is notoriously persnickety about adaptations of his material. He doesn't like anything, you know, that we adapt from his works. Something was the best, I'm not sure what it was. But in any case, I thought, well, if we do a book on tape, then we'll just add music and effects, and we can do every single word, every comma, every everything, right? So how can he complain about the script? He wrote it. But that wasn't to be, because the Warner Brothers said, well, it's not a viable commercial enterprise, meaning we can't make enough money. So I just sort of forgot about it. But be careful what you wish for, because it comes back, and I sort of forgot about how grim it really is. And it's been really hard, especially for the kids that come up and go, oh boy, I can't wait to see the new Joker. But don't watch it. It's horrible. It's sick and twisted. It's rated R for a reason. And to be honest with you, they sent it to me when I was in London doing episode 8. They said, here's Killing Joke. And I was like, afraid to watch it. Because we didn't have a table read, we didn't discuss it, you know. They recorded us separately, and they put you in a chair, you got 4 hours, and go! Line 18, line 21, line 23. Really? So I thought this is too momentous a project not to really. I mean, Family Guy has table reads. Don't we deserve one? Well, anyway. And I'm never satisfied. I strive to be less dissatisfied. And I liked everybody else, but what happened was this. They sent me the disc, and we were doing night shoots. that's where you sleep all day, and you get up in the late afternoon, and you go to work, and as soon as it gets dark, you film until the sun comes up the next morning. And so you're in this twilight zone of the world anyway. It's kind of peaceful, really. You know, and the traffic's great at 4 in the morning. But I came home and I realized, oh my gosh, they have an interview for me tomorrow afternoon when I wake up this morning. I haven't watched it. And then the day after, I started a sequence, an elaborate special effects sequence where I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm going to have to focus specifically on the episode 8 scene I'm doing. So, about 4 to 5 in the morning, I went down to the basement, I popped it in, and I started watching it. And there's an old joke that actors read scripts, and they go, BS, BS, my line, BS, BS, my line, BS, BS, my line. It's funny, because it's true. To a certain extent. But I'm watching this thing and I'm thinking, wait a second, did they send me the Batgirl? Because you know what it is, Killing Joke is embedded within a larger story now. Because the book's only like 48 pages long. And I said, I don't remember, because I don't think I would have skipped over it, I would have read it, but I don't want to give anything away, but when certain things happened, I went, huh? I couldn't believe it. I said, did they keep these pages away from me? So that was very unsettling. And just when I was trying to get my mind around that, our part came on. And again, I'm sort of like, I've been up for, I don't know, all night, all day. So I watched this thing all by myself, and I go up to bed, and I couldn't get to sleep. I mean, it wasn't like it gave me nightmares or anything. It was just very disturbing to me. I didn't know how to process what I'd seen. And I thought, I should probably see this with an audience. And that's why I was really sorry I couldn't make it to the San Diego Comic Con, because they showed it, and I hate how they showed it in movie theaters. So, but yeah, that's my long and winding, boring answer to that question, whatever it was. Yes? What was going through my mind when I found out Darth Vader was being my father? Well, here's the thing. We filmed that scene. In the script it said, it's exactly as you saw, except one line. Vader says, you don't know the truth. Obi-Wan killed your father. And I go, no! Just, you know. So, Irvin Kershner, the director, he pulled me aside and said, we're not going to tell anybody. Because David Prowse, God bless him, has a tendency to leak, like a sieve. And so they're going to dub the line. He said, when we get to the finish, we're going to dub in the line, I'm your father. I said, you're kidding. It's very exciting. And Kershner said, yes. He prefaced it with, I know this, George knows this, and when I tell you, you'll be the third person who knows. So if it leaks, we'll know who leaked it. So I was scared straight. I was like, oh my gosh. Now, ironically, a lot of the guys that play stormtroopers would go down to the pub at the end of the day, and there were always people from tabloid newspapers with 50-pound notes going, hey, got anything on Star Wars? Hey, can you do something on Star Wars? And somebody did give me something on Star Wars, and within 3 days of filming that scene, it wasn't even, it was on the front page, but not like a big banner. It's a little box that said, the headline, small headline, Guinness Head Daddy in Star Wars 2. Which again, I thought, that's a pretty good twist Obi-Wan turned out to be evil. I mean, think about it. That's a really good twist. But I was delighted because we leaked fake information. And they went for it. So, because you know what? I have to say to you guys, it might be annoying, all the secrecy and so forth, but we want to do it for you. Oh, look at all the fans in the top tier. They're clinging on for dear life. No, don't wave! Don't wave! Oh, God. Idea of just plummeting fans just strikes terror in my heart. Is there a safety net over there? Hang on! Cling on! A little Star Trek reference, too. What I was saying was, we want to keep these secrets not to annoy you or play some kind of game with makingstarwars.com. We want it so that the fun is in the movie theaters, not on the internet. It's really for you. We don't want to find out what you're doing for your birthday. Remember I told you about my annoying sisters? One of their favorite things was to go into my parents' bedrooms, look at the gifts, and tell me what I was getting for Christmas. Not only was it a surprise for me, but then I had to pretend to be surprised. Well, why I was covering up for them, I'll never know. Another question?
I would just like to ask, what were you thinking during that one scene at the end of episode 7? That one magical, beautiful 30 seconds.
My only suggestion was, let's say that Luke doesn't come into the story until episode 8, and then that moment will be a big surprise. Well, that was my idea. I thought, if you advertise Carrie Harrison and me, that's at least an implied reunion of some sort. And if we don't give them that, plus with what happens to Harrison's character, if I turn around and the audience goes, "No," like it's a big gimmick, I'm the one with egg on my face, JJ, not you or Kathy. So I was just worried it wouldn't work. I thought it's a great surprise, and I love surprise endings like that, but I just wasn't sure of how to present it. And plus, it was weird. I mean, when I said, okay, I'll come back and do the movie, because I think it's going to be all of us or none of us. And I wasn't sure whether I should come back, because we had a beginning, middle, and end, and it was perfect. It should be about the new generation. But I don't have to worry, because Harrison's not going to do this. He's way too rich and cynical, and he stopped caring decades ago. And I should, by all rights, be in my elderly reckoning phase of my career, where I wander around the garden in my Bermuda shorts with a metal detector telling kids to get off my lawn. So I said, well, I don't have to work as Harrison won't do it anyway. And that's my out. And then when they said, oh no, he's doing it, I went, oh my God, I've been drafted. Studios, oh no God, I'm 1A! But no, I was overwhelmed. And as I am every time, I have to tell you, this is almost such a, seeing this kind of passion, up close and personal, it's just overwhelming for me. I don't take it for granted, and I don't experience it in my everyday life. A couple days from now, I'll be picking up after the dog and getting yelled at to take the trash out to the road. Back to the usual. So when I see this and I hear your stories of passing it down to the next generation, or I met my wife online, or through the empire, it's just absolutely really overwhelming. And I so appreciate the passion and the support you've shown us over the years. It's just, in good times and bad, you have always been there. All of the Star Wars fans, all the Joker fans, all of the Partridge Family fans, regular show. There's another example. They called me the other day and they said, oh, you're going to go in and do 3 shows. By the way, I went in one day when I was doing episode 8 and did 14 episodes of the regular show in about 3 hours, all by myself. I got really spoiled because usually the sessions are 4 hours long. You drive 30 miles to Cartoon Network. It's a 4-hour session. The whole cast is there. Then you drive 30 miles back. So just from the standpoint of being economical with the gas and the time elements, I got spoiled. 14 shows in 3 hours. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so I just tweeted, you know, how much I would miss the character and how much I appreciate the cast. And I got all hell breaking with my agent called and said, Cartoon Network says delete all those tweets because they haven't announced it. I said, well, they told me. I would have tweeted. They said, you know, they told me it was our last show. They didn't say, oh, and keep it a secret. So now I'm really paranoid of this new age of social media. Okay, I got 10 minutes. Ask another question.
Okay, first off, I have to apologize. 10 years ago, I met you sort of at, sorry. Never mind, I'll just apologize. I'm sorry. When did you know?
Time well spent, don't you think?
Okay, so in A New Hope, was Carrie Fisher's character described to you as a love interest or as a sister?
No. She's a princess. I met her for the first time on the guest star. What did I know? And by the way, I don't know if they still have the footage, but we filmed that scene, you know, the Hamill said she learned she was Stormtrooper, which I tried to talk George out of. I said, come on. Only another short guy could lay that on, another short guy. But he said, no, let's go, just go and do it. So about 2 weeks later, I get a call sheet, and I said, wait a second. The rest of the princess scene, we did that 2 weeks ago. Why is it on the call sheet again? And they said, oh, I don't know, ask George. And I said to George, why are we doing this again? He said, well, we're changing your name. I said, what do you mean? Well, I come in and I say, I'm Luke Starkiller, I'm here to rescue you. He goes, yeah, Starkiller tested really bad. They don't like the word kill in your name. It's too negative. It's too, I said, oh man, I could use a little gutsiness. I need, the character could use a little macho enough. So I got really used to the name Luke Starkiller. And so when I heard the who, I said, what are you going to name me? He says, Luke Skywalker. You're kidding. It sounds like Luke Flyswatter. Luke Skywalker. That's awful. Oh, it's going to ruin everything. Well, it works. So we filmed it again. I thought, see, normally they go like on the back of my head and just have me dub in the line. But he wanted the medium close-up when I took my helmet off. So there you are. But no, I didn't know she was my sister until way too late. Now, I know you all have a good laugh, but try and see it through my point of view. From my point of view, it's a traumatic experience. Because, you know, she's like the only eligible woman in the entire galaxy. I had a huge crush on her. Solo and I were jockeying for her affections every minute. And then, what a horrible good news, bad news joke. The good news is, there's an eligible, gorgeous woman in the galaxy. The bad news, she's your sister. So, good luck with that. talk so serious.
We have a question right over here. Right behind you.
Yes. I did. I asked her if I could keep my boots from A New Hope, but only the bottom part, not the leggings that wrapped up. I kept the stormtrooper helmet that I rescued the princess in. And by the way, all these fan-made helmets, they're much better made than mine. Because mine was only meant to last for 10 weeks of shooting. This is a terrible shape. The inside visor was just a piece of green cello with, masking tape into place, which has long since fallen off, and it looks terrible. So if you're planning on burglarizing the house, I just have to add that. Yes.
Right over here.
Yeah. I better go with the microphone. Mark? Does anybody know who this is? Security residence talking around. Well, that's Millie. And we got sort of the, Gary Fisher's getting way too famous for our liking. He is. And so we thought we'd counter with Millie there. That's Chelsea's dog, and she went with us. She knows all the secrets of episode 8. She was there every day. So she's just chock-a-block with spoilers. All right, a few more questions? I don't know if I'm in control. Ooh. Yes. Go ahead.
Mark, you've made some of the most exceptional, awesome, snarky comments on some of the autographs that you've done for fans. I've seen online searches that have meant a lot to a lot of us. Would you be willing to put a snarky autograph out of the show later on?
I always love to do what the fan wants. Now, don't get me wrong, an 8-year-old comes up and wants me to force be with you, that's what he's going to get. But a 25-year-old comes up and goes, hey man, I want you to do something really kind of different for me. So I'm like, of course you said. Which is, it's a good phrase. Because it sounds dirty, but it's not. And I was willing to do this for a fan. I didn't know he was going to leave me. I said, this is a little edgy, 555 bond, all that stuff. He said, no, I want that. I want that. I mean, for me, I'll never sell them. Fast forward, they're on the internet. I'm like, ooh. People write, Mark Hamill defaces young fans' collectibles. Because some of them, they're a little, because I try and stay out of that. I don't want a lot of younger people to read my Twitter, so my kids are all saying, Dad, that's such dad humor. Wait, what's dad humor? Funny funny, right? And all of them were there. Nathan, Griffin, Chelsea were all there. I said, what is dad humor? And Chelsea goes, well, lots of times. Griffin said, yeah, obvious. And Nathan goes, not funny. Why you? But so anyway, that was a little, it wasn't meant for everybody's eyes. And so, I should know better by now. Anything you do winds up on YouTube. There's a commercial I did when I was like 18 years old that I never seen. And it's on YouTube now. Yes. Why so serious? You gotta warm up. You do the Joker cold. It's like stripping your engine. I did a session in, even that's a spoiler. I think I'm authorized to tell you I'm in episode 8. But no, I did a session for Joker in England, and I thought I had warmed up a little in the shower, but I was wrecked. The next 3 days I had a really worse voice. So every time I do a joke or I drive, and it takes me 45 minutes to an hour, and I can warm up on the way to work. And in Los Angeles, we lived next to you, and there's a guy all by himself laughing maniacally. No big deal. Just another day in Los Angeles. 1 minute. Yes. How was it when I did the filming? How hot? Well, I have to tell you, when we were doing Empire Strikes Back with the carbon freeze chamber, the way they simulated the carbon freeze effects, steam! Steam! Oh my gosh, we couldn't walk 50 feet without pouring sweat. And we, that lightsaber duel, I mean, people know more about this than I do, but it took place over like, I know it was 10 sets over a period of about 6 weeks. I mean, not every day, they do other things too, but all told. And the upside is it's a great way to lose weight. People pay a lot of money to go to saunas, and they provided one for me. Yes?
How is your perception of Skywalker compared to what we see on screen?
Well, Luke to me is the only character who really fundamentally changes in the three. I mean, you can argue with me, and you've probably seen it more than I have. Seriously, I mean, I saw Force Awakens in Los Angeles opening, got on a plane, flew to London, saw it the next day in London. That's twice. That'll do it. And both of them were contractually obligated. It's usually like everybody but me. You know, so, you know, I think Luke changes because he starts out, people laugh, and it is a really cringe-inducing moment when I said, that's what you're going to do. Okay, all laugh, this is your sister. I specifically chose to make him as whiny and babyish as I could at that moment, so that I would have a trajectory. You know, we didn't know we were going to make Empire and Jedi. We were going to make 3 films, but the first one was successful. So I said, if I'm going to wind up at the end of this journey blowing up the Death Star, you got to make it really like he's a kid, a little kid, at the beginning, so he has somewhere to go, and then it just progressed from there. Oh. Let me have that song. I know, I blame those guys that came on before me and told their stories about fishing and going picnicking with their wives. Well, listen, I really could stay here all day, as you can tell. We're just scratching the surface. The next time I come back,